This random Swedish man learned how to draw in 100 days. In fact, he had so much success with it that the internet went wild about it. So naturally, it got us all thinking, is this the so-called talent, or is there more to it? Can you and I do it if we try it? The short answer is yes. There's this really old TED talk on skill acquisition and learning that has like 40 million views on YouTube. In the presentation, the speaker Josh Kaufman talked about 4 things that would help anyone learn any skill in just 20 hours of practice. And coincidentally, the things mentioned in that video matches perfectly with PewDiePie's drawing journey so far. Now, if you look at how Felix started his drawing journey, he actually started off with drawing the human face, which, to be honest, isn't really optimal for learning because the human face is one of the hardest things to draw well. We as humans are very sensitive to the proportions and anatomy of the human face, so this raises the difficulty by a lot because we can detect the slightest mistake. Anyways, I get it. The face is the most interesting thing for artists to draw, but that's exactly why Felix felt really frustrated from the start. He would often express it in his 2 drawing videos.
I'm cringing so hard looking at these. I just can't seem to get it. They all look like elves. I don't know why. It's very frustrating.
If I have to guess why, it's probably because he knows that the drawings look bad to him, but he doesn't know why or how to fix it. This is a very common frustration amongst artists, especially because art is a huge skill tree made up from a lot of smaller skill branches. So when something goes wrong, you can tell it's wrong, but you can't quite figure out why. For example, to draw a face well, there are a lot of smaller different components that goes into it, like facial proportions, perspective, anatomy, stylization. The list goes on, and learning these by the order of priority can determine how fast you actually improve. The earlier you can start breaking down skills into their smaller components like this, the better you'll be able to improve and understand the skill down the line. Let's just take one of those things we mentioned earlier, for example. This can be broken down even further into head proportions. What's the size of the eyes compared to the nose, for example, their distances between each other, etc, etc, etc. The point of doing this is to not only help you understand how the skill works, but it also helps you to practice with more intention. Another important step he did here is to learn from a master, and at this stage it doesn't really matter who the master is, you just have to pick one that you like. However, whether it's purely by chance or intentional, he chose to learn proportions and how to construct the face. And this ties into the second point, learn enough to self-correct. Proportions and construction are some of the most important skills to draw faces well. It's actually kind of huge that PewDiePie decided to learn these things early on. I remember how I wouldn't learn these just because they seemed boring in the beginning of my art journey and just rely by eye to draw the face. I was like, I don't want to measure or calculate what I'm drawing. Drawing's supposed to be fun. But yeah, in hindsight, these quote-unquote boring skills are actually some of the biggest drivers in terms of how fast I improve. By the way, I would add in perspective into the mix as well. Like I said, these things really do carry over to all levels of art. And the reason why I say that is because these skills help you self-correct, especially when you're drawing a highly simplified, stylized anime face like what Felix is doing. 99% of the time when something goes wrong, you can bet that it has to do with one of these 3 things. They're like the backbone of drawing faces. And not only that, once you learn enough of the principles behind perspective and facial proportions, stuff like drawing the face in different angles, drawing different types of faces, all comes easier because you now have the skill to freely change the sizes of things and draw them in the 3D space accurately. Some of the more practical ways of practicing these would be using the Loomis method or using an Asaro's head. You can actually find digital assets of the Asaro head online. One thing that I love to do is just to find a reference, then match the reference angle with the Asaro head. Then I'll either put them side by side or just layer them on top of each other like this and draw different versions of them in practice. Clip Studio has this really cool function where you can bring in your own 3D assets and layer them directly in your canvas. So that's really helpful for doing practices like this. And just real quick before we get to the next point, let's do a segue and talk about learning enough. I think we all fell into the same endless tutorial trap before, where we would endlessly consume tutorials instead of actually practicing. This is also a huge trap for beginners because they feel like they need every single bit of information drilled in their heads before they can finally start practicing. Well, you don't. All that information you consumed won't actually translate into anything if you never put them into practice. In the beginning, you just need to learn enough. Preferably the priority skills like what we went through earlier if you're trying to draw the face, and just practice. Don't use tutorials as an excuse to procrastinate on practicing. And speaking of practice and procrastination, here comes the next tip. One thing I really admire about Pewdiepie is his ability to stay consistent in everything he does. I remember him starting the gym, reading books, and heck, even his YouTube channel. This man's life is basically all about consistency, and I'm actually not surprised that he'll do well when he picked up drawing. One important rule Felix set for himself is drawing every day for at least 10 minutes. First of all, 10 minutes is basically nothing if you think about it. Everyone can spare 10 minutes in their lives. For this reason, this greatly lowers the barrier for him to start practicing each day since the time commitment is so small. You know, if you have more time on a given day, you can always draw more, but the point here is to stay committed to drawing every day. And this is for good reason. You see, it's better to draw 1 hour every day than drawing 7 hours straight on a Saturday. The same amount of total drawing time, but massive differences in learning. This is because your brain needs sleep and rest after absorbing information for a while. Whatever you practiced in a day gets reinforced as you sleep and rest. Alright, so imagine that there's this small cabinet with limited space in your brain that's temporarily holding information that you learned during the day. The stuff in this tiny cabinet gets emptied out as you rest into a bigger cabinet. But let's say you were super motivated and you filled that poor little cabinet all the way until stuff was spilling out. Well, unfortunately, whatever you learned after that would just be lost or partially lost. So not only is this inefficient for learning, you'd also experience a bigger resistance when you do decide to finally practice and might end up procrastinating. I mean, it makes sense that it's easier to be motivated to sit down for an hour session compared to a 7-hour session, not to mention 10 minutes. Now, on top of this, Felix also draws only the face most of the time, and he only does it in certain angles. Later down the line, he also uses references heavily for his drawings. These little things helped him lower the difficulty barrier for practicing as well, and all of this contributes to his consistency. I would have to mention that sometimes he would go with just his imagination/memory, which is pretty important in terms of learning as well. Even though this is harder to do and more frustrating, this is an important practice to reinforce whatever you learned. Forcing yourself out of the comfort zone to not having a reference helps you to actually think about what you're doing, and this is where the construction and perspective skills comes in handy. It's a bad habit to over-rely on references as well, so practicing both with and without reference is important. There are also some more generic tips like removing distractions and setting up your environment better for practicing. This means to put your sketchbook or iPad at very accessible areas to make the process of starting a practice session easier. And if you're doing all of the previous 3 things already, now you just have to repeat them for at least 20 hours. Felix practiced for 100 days so far, and just some quick maths, if he practices for at least 12 minutes a day, I think he's well past 20-hour mark by now, especially since he mentioned that he now spends more than 10 minutes a day in his second video. This just goes to show the power of consistency. And yeah, if you're completely new to learning any skill, granted you're doing it properly like Felix here, you usually find yourself improving at a faster pace. This zone of the learning curve here is the beginner's buff, so enjoy it while you can. But if you're someone more in the intermediate/advanced zone, your 100-day journey might not look as exciting, and that's okay. We all have different starting points, and that shouldn't be the reason that stops you from trying. At the end of the day, small gains are still gains. If you like this video, then click here to watch the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!